Hellcat.
Hello and welcome to another episode on Sports for the People. Today I'm joined by Chris, joined by Jack. Hello, and joined by Jamie.
Hello.
Hello. Happy 30th birthday, sunshine.
Thank you very much.
You don't look a day over 42.
Looks like Wham Matter.
Wham Matter in 10 years' time.
Like, yeah, an old Wham Matter.
An older version of old Wham Matter.
So today we're going to be discussing our combined Arsenal and Manchester United 11 between 1995 and 2005. So obviously you've got the Arsenal squads of the 98 double and the Invincibles, and you've got the 99 treble winners from United, and pretty dominant era for United in general. So we're going to start off from the back. We're going to start off with goalkeepers. I think it comes down to two. Well, pretty much does. So Jamie, I'll go to you first, since you've got yours all written down for us.
Well, let me just read off my list quickly. 2 seconds. Basically, yeah, Pete Schmeichel's screaming out at me, mate, and I think big pitch straight in there, lad, straight in there. It was between two. And obviously, the other one was none other than David Seaman, but yeah.
I thought you were going to say Man United's reserve keeper from 95 or something.
Van der Hau.
Van der Hau did get a look in, but I thought I'd put Seaman in.
Jack, have you gone Seaman or have you gone Schmeichel?
I've gone Schmeichel. I love David Seaman, but I mean, Schmeichel was a very, very good keeper. So,
Well done, Jack.
I was going to go Jens Lehmann, but I thought, nah, let's not.
Jens Lehmann is, he's another one that supposed his Invincible season was pretty goddamn good.
He's a tosser, is what he is, mate.
Well, Jens, if you're listening to this, I'd just like to disagree with Chris. I think you're a top bloke, mate, and please come on the show. Chris, what
I meant tosser with like the German B's, not.
That's what you meant. No, sorry for that. Yeah. Chris, I assume you've gone for Peter Schmeichel?
Yeah. No question there.
Thanks for the in-depth analysis there, guys.
Well, you remember that penalty that you saved against Bergkamp?
Yeah, I remember that the semi-final.
That answers the question, doesn't it?
Is that the FA Cup semi-final?
That one item alone, yeah.
Yeah.
It was the replay, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was the replay.
Last 9 of your players thought they weren't there.
Thanks, Jamie.
Right.
I'm assuming that we've all gone for a back four rather than a back three.
Yeah.
Yeah. So right back, again, I think it's between maybe three. So we'll go to you first, Jack.
I've gone with Gary Neville.
I thought you were going to say Lauren then. And I was about to fucking leave, mate.
The problem is, Arsenal, I don't know how we've done it, but we've won with very shit right backs. I love Lee Dixon, but he's a good right back, but he's probably not the best right back in Premier League history. So, yeah, I'll go with Gary Neville.
Yeah, like I said, I don't think there's going to be much debate on the right back. Jamie, you Gary?
Fucking obviously big Gary, mate. The only other one in the head was Lauren, really. I don't even know your third choice was, but they were the two that popped up for me.
Lee Dixon was the third choice.
Solid for many years.
Lee Dixon would be, yeah.
Never heard of her. Who is she?
You're a dreadful person. Keofi, I'm assuming you've gone for Gary?
Yes, mate. Yeah.
Wonderful having such insight coming in from you guys. Don't say I don't provide quality content, guys. Just don't say that.
You asked me a question. I just answered it, buddy.
Okay.
Ask me decent questions.
What are your thoughts on Gary Neville being the right back?
Well, I think consistently he's been the best right back in Premier League history. Very well decorated. Obviously, it's not really about that. It's about the quality. But, he did have quality, particularly in the 4-4-2 formation, whether it be sort of overlapping backs at the time or any sort of right midfielder. Lee Dixon did a good job as well. But I think, if we're going to talk about all-time Premier League teams, not just combined Arsenal, United one, he'd be first choice for many, I believe. And the only different option would probably be Trent, and I wouldn't even think Lee Dixon would even enter that. question.
No,
so-
we did an all-time Premier League 11, which you can find in the link above. First time.
Yeah, but
down
Gary,
below.
Gary didn't make it.
It's in the top. It's in the top corner. They come up.
Yeah, but
So
Gary didn't make it onto FIFA 20, and Lee Dixon did, so he
that's
wins that
true.
one. Yeah, best commentator. That's all we've got.
But yeah, we'll go centre backs next. I'm assuming there is quite a lot of options here. Quite a few quality centre backs here, and we'll go to Chris to kick us off.
Obviously, I'm a United fan. Ferdinand, Vidic, Stam, they're Pallister, all very capable centre backs. But the one that stood out for me was probably Jaap Stam. Although he was sort of like not at the club for that long compared to the likes of Ferdinand and Vidic. The question isn't, who's the biggest United legend at centre back position or vice versa in the Arsenal sense. But for me, the way that I'm seeing it is, I could happily trade off the other centre back being an Arsenal player as long as I more or less have Stam. If that makes sense.
Yeah, if that's how you want to think about it.
Stam's quality. Yeah.
Well, obviously, from the Arsenal point of view, I'm assuming, Jack, you probably thought about Adams, Campbell. Torre even had a really good season. You're not going to put him in there, but he had a great season for the Invincible League.
Gallas there, though. Was Gallas not around that time?
He joined later on, 2006. I think he joined.
Sylvester.
Yeah.
Played for both clubs.
Sylvester for both teams.
You're shy. I went with, to be fair, I mean, I wrote my list 5 minutes ago. And in that point, I couldn't think of a single United defender. So I went with Adams and Campbell. For some reason, the only United defender I thought of was Steve Bruce, who's not United defender. So I'm going with Adams and Campbell because they are.
What are you drinking, Jack? What are you drinking, mate?
Probably the
Is it
same
that
stuff
drink?
Tony Adams was, but he was still a quality defender.
Exactly.
I mean, those two were easily two of the best defenders that have graced Premier League, so I'm going with those two.
I'm assuming, Chris, your other Arsenal centre-back was Tony Adams?
No. My other centre-back would probably be between Ferdinand and Vidic.
What? Tony Adams?
Well,
Lugdy.
I don't think...
Pascal Segon. You look like Pascal Segon.
I'll go with Jaap Stam myself. Yeah.
Okay.
Or at least that's how I'd like to think I'd look and play. Well, I mean, obviously, being a United fan, I always watched United. Only saw highlights mainly of Arsenal. My opinion's completely biased, obviously, but I think Ferdinand was probably one of our best, produce from a development perspective for England. I think he was always destined to do great things. This isn't really about me sucking his dick. It's mainly about me just highlighting
You're doing a pretty
his
good
quality.
job, though, aren't you?
Well,
Jealous over there, yeah.
When you look like a dildo, you sort of have to carry out,
Yeah. Do your duty. Jamie, what about you, mate?
Obviously, big Jaap Stam, absolute monster of a bloke. And we'll chuck Ronnie Johnson in there too, because the guy was a fucking hero. Absolute hero.
I don't feel like you're taking this seriously here, Jamie.
It's between him and David May, but yeah, big Ronnie Johnson got the nod. Nah.
I thought he was being serious.
Yeah, so did I.
No, I'm going to put... I wouldn't say the same, mate. I mean, I didn't see too much of fucking Tony Adams apart from down the pub on the weekend, and that's the only time I've seen him. Didn't see what he did on the pitch. Good drinker.
Are you sure you're 30 and not 40?
I am. I've already been told I'm an old
10 years old, you must have looked like 20 years old, right? Is that what you're saying?
Button. No, I'm going to go with... So I love Vidic. I did love Vidic. But I would go...
He always got done by Torres, didn't he? Always got done by Torres.
You sound like that fucking scouse that was on here a couple of weeks ago.
You're not a friend of Ashel's, then?
Ashel.
Yeah, 9 clean sheets against Liverpool. Vidic, something like that. Something silly. And he had 2 red cards.
Who was your choice then? Because it sort of lagged out a bit.
Rio and... Yeah.
That for me... I mean, the balance of the two, like Ferdinand's a ball player, right?
That's what I mean. Each other really
Adams
well.
is a bit. Was that Adams? Was he a bit more like brute? He
I
could
think
play
he was a
football.
bit-
as well,
Wait,
couldn't he?
ahead of his
Adams,
time.
you're talking about the lad who ran the entire length of the pitch and scored a volley on the fly against Everton to win the league. Yeah, that shit.
Mo
event.
Farah could do that. It's not about.
Farah.
Yeah, Mo
it's not-
Farah is also an Arsenal
it's not-
fan. That's
Yeah, yeah.
fine. He can do whatever he wants.
It's not about being able to run the pitch and put the ball at the back of the net. I mean, what's the I mean, I'm happy to have Tony Adams purely because it should be balanced between the two teams. It's not who's got the biggest voice and who can push their player and it stay there. I think
Campbell's got the
balance
biggest
of the
knob
two.
out of all of them. He can go to team.
Why is that? How come he's got the biggest knob? How do you know?
You don't want to know how he knows.
Thank him off in you.
Well, I'd personally
escalated
go
cut to
Adams.
God,
And, I'd go Adams and Stam probably.
All right, let's. I'm happy with that.
I think Ferdinand would probably be in the team if we did 2000 to 2010.
Then no, yeah, fair enough. He's at 2005, then no.
Yeah, it's a bit early for Rio's peak, wasn't it? Really, 05.
Champions League a year later, wasn't he, Rio? A year or two later. No,
Yeah.
2008, yeah. So yeah, it's a bit before.
3 seasons later.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's just before Rio's peak, so I'd go Stam and Adams. Left back, this one's quite difficult, I think. Again, it's between two.
Quite easy.
It's one
think-
person. It's
I think it's
completely
Ashley
one person.
Cole, hands down. But Jamie, I'll go to you first.
I was going to say Ashley Cole. He's probably the best left back who's been in the Premier League. He's graced it down the years, and I don't think there's been much better, really. He's just class. He was literally just superb. One-on-one defending. Didn't really get past it too often. He didn't have too many bad games. Chelsea legend.
Thanks,
Made
mate.
some bad life choices. I know that.
Yeah, yeah.
I know. There's a few on this list that probably have, to be fair, isn't there? I was going to say, is it Dennis Irwin? Was he not at the club in 95?
Oh yeah. He's definitely. He would be second choice for me. You mentioned Ever as well, but I don't think he was as.
He
sort
joined
of,
at 05, didn't he? He joined in 05 after Porto won the Champions League.
He was there just after, I think. You're right.
Yeah.
But yeah, Ashley Cole would be mine, but Aaron would be, pretty close second, considering he was a set piece taker and all that sort of stuff as well.
Yeah, quality free kick and penalty taker. Jack, what about you, mate?
Yeah, no, it's simple, Cole. I mean, I won't lie, I can't even remember Dennis Irwin playing. Like, I'm 27, so I would have been like 6 maybe when he was playing football. Maybe. So I can't actually remember watching Dennis Irwin. So for me, it was like easy. Ashley Cole. Second was probably Giovanni Van Bronckhorst.
How old are you, Jack?
That's
Without
bad.
the ability to do quick maths?
27.
27.
I can't remember when Dennis Irwin retired.
No, I would have said it was 97-ish, wasn't it? Probably around then.
What was the question when he
When
retired?
Dennis Irwin retired.
He didn't retire then because he was part of the treble winning squad, wasn't he?
Oh, was it?
You're a donut, Keaton. He retired in 1997.
No, I don't know. I said I thought he did. I didn't know. I didn't know he was part of the treble side.
Yeah, mate.
I didn't really watch a lot of him, so.
Who
easy
did
Ashley Cole.
you think was left back out of interest, Keaton?
I don't know. I didn't really think about it, to be fair. I just remember Ronnie Johnson, to be fair.
Barthez left back.
Barthez.
Phil Neville.
Class of 92,
Class of
Barthez.
92. Thanks, Sam. Sam, you're watching. Jamie, we'll go for right mid now. I think, have you played a 4-4-2 with the others?
I have played a 4-4-2. Just made it up right now. Just writing down. For me, there's only going to be one choice, really. David Bellion. Absolute class player. Dave Beckham straight in that team. Every time. His delivery was out of this world. His set pieces, he was just something different. He was a different gravy. And yeah, he was part of the treble winning team before he vacated 2004. I'm trying to think who played at right mid for Arsenal. I was trying to think, was it
Lundberg.
on the left?
Youngberg.
Youngberg's not even fit to get in the same sentence as Beckham. Just get him out, innit?
Or Ray Parlour.
That's just a disgusting choice. That's even worse.
The Romford Pele. I don't hear anyone calling Beckham the Salford Pele.
Just do him, call him Golden Balls instead.
Yeah, exactly.
So, Jack, have you gone Beckham?
Yeah, I've gone Beckham.
Slate him and then be like, yeah, I've gone Beckham. Christopher, I'm assuming you've gone David?
Yes. However, there's a caveat to it. I can't, for the life of me, think someone who I would definitely consider them there in place of. But I guess that will come later, I think. I'm just trying to figure out how to squeeze Ronaldo into the team, and that would be one of the positions.
You're not going to squeeze Ronaldo in, surely.
Oh, can I? Because it's 95, yeah. Oh, that's easy. Answer my question.
I was going to say. Okay,
Chuck
then.
my pen.
This is probably going to be the most contentious spots, I'd say, probably. The two centre midfield positions. Both teams have got great centre mids in this time. Jamie, since you've got yours written down in front of you.
Someone look at my list.
Yeah, just have a look.
Just straight down the middle, mate. Roy Keane, one of the best holding player you'll ever see in the Premier League. Absolute leader, absolute monster of a man. And if you chat shit about him, he breaks your legs. Simple as that. So do not give Roy any stick because he'll be at your house. And Paul Scholes.
You are a joker.
Don't explain
You are
it.
a troll.
There is no argument there, to be fair.
No, there isn't. There really isn't. People laugh at Roy Keane, but the fact is, if you actually watched Roy Keane and what he did, he was superb. People laugh because of technical ability and that. The guy was a monster. People were scared to go on the pitch.
He was shit.
I just recall being watching that Arsenal United game and Vieira practically bullying Gary Neville.
Ran away.
And he shit himself.
He
Vieira
did
absolutely shit himself.
Then we won 4-2.
Just on that alone, Vieira's pond scum compared to Roy Keane.
That's that. That's a joker.
Who would you have there instead then? So what's your counter argument?
All right, Vieira, because Vieira is the best midfielder that has played for either team. Vieira is a better midfielder than Scholes. I don't give a shit what any of you say. Vieira is the best midfielder.
As a holding midfielder, yeah. I'd say
as a holding midfielder, attacking midfielder, central midfielder, any kind of midfielder, he's better than Scholes. He has more assists than Scholes.
That is savage.
Right, no. Okay, let's just be honest, okay? The amount of time that Scholes played for United, he doesn't have a good assist record. He has a poor goal scoring record. He can't tackle to save his life. So at what point are you actually going young and have Scholes in that team?
Vieira score for Arsenal, can I ask?
More than Scholes.
Did he?
It's goals
not
per game, yes.
I don't think Scholes was banging in 20 goals a season at one point, so I don't think he did.
I don't think Scholes was ever banging in 20 goals a season.
Vieira might have got more yellow cards than Scholes, but
Vieira is a better player than Scholes. Easily.
I mean, I don't agree. I don't agree.
I'll say yes.
I'll settle with I don't agree.
Okay.
But what I would say Scholes offers as opposed to what Vieira does, Scholes can't tackle. I mean, from a box-to-box perspective, he's very similar to Vieira, but what he has that Vieira doesn't is...
Are you joking from a box-to-box perspective?
Well, he was a box-to-box midfielder.
Vieira was actually quick and could run with the ball. Vieira ran the entire length of the pitch to win the league.
So did Giggs to knock you out of the FA Cup? What's your point?
Yeah, Giggs, the winger, is supposed to be quick.
I mean, for me, it's his vision. That's what it is for me. I'm not using Xavi as leverage here. Even Vieira has said that if he was to combine the United team and an Arsenal team, Scholes would be the first player.
Yeah, I got Scholes next to Vieira. I'm just saying Vieira's better than Scholes. Okay. I'm not
for me, the dynamic would be Scholes plus Vieira or Keane. That's where I'm at. I'd quite happily say Keane in lieu of Vieira in lieu of Keane, but not the other way around. Not with Scholes. I think I'd be happy with that.
I think Vieira also, obviously, with France, won the World Cup and the Euros. Scholes never did anything for England, really. I think
Arsenal United.
Yeah, but that was nothing of Scholes' wrongdoing. He was just completely overseen as an option because
but then if you're being shoved out to left wing over Frank Lampard and Steven Gerrard, surely that shows that you're not the best midfielder.
Sven Goran Eriksson hasn't got a clue, and he's fucking clueless.
I mean, I would have loved to have seen what would happen if in hindsight, or if we were able to sort of see what Scholes could have done in that position. But Scholes was class for me.
What do you think? What do you think would be a better duo, Scholes and Vieira, or Vieira and Keane?
Scholes and Vieira, I'd say.
That's a trick question, though, because he's not going to leave Scholes out and just said that. It's a silly question.
Well, I know, but as a combination, obviously you'd have so much grit and determination in the Keane-Vieira duo.
Yeah.
And the
They'd be
leadership.
fighting with each other. Be fighting with each other.
That might be an issue.
And obviously Stam's there as well, and Stam loved to fight with Vieira too. So
You can all have a scrap on the pitch. So we'll go to left mid next. I think again.
we're locking in Keane and Scholes. Is that what we're saying?
Vieira and Scholes, I believe we've locked in, which I'm happy about, I suppose. Left mid.
You're
I think
supposed to be neutral.
I am neutral. I'm happy that we have come to this agreement. Left mid, I think for me comes down to 3 players. So it'd be for me Perez, Giggs, and Overmars. But we'll go to Jamie first.
Giggs.
Jamie's been fast for like the whole program, mate.
Picks me first. Basically, mate, I liked Perez. I thought he was a good player, but the fact is, I know it's between the era. Giggs done it for 20 years consistently in the Premier League. He's probably the best left winger you're ever going to see in the league. He's done it consistently. I remember last time I was on it, someone said Giggs is overrated. I'd love to know how he's overrated. I would love you to tell me now how he's overrated, because there's nothing about him that's overrated. He's probably the best left winger.
I think you look at the stats and you look at Perez at Arsenal and his goals and assist record compared to Giggs over the same period.
Why are Arsenal? I mean, I'm not targeting all Arsenal people here, but Arsenal have got this obsession with stats and assists. Like,
because that's literally what everything's based on.
It's not. I think goals are more
ability.
important than assists. I mean, yeah, but you could look at stats, right? But stats don't tell you about determination. Well, it might imply that someone's determined by scoring loads of goals.
But Perez scored against Tottenham every year. He's got the.
Oh my God! Is that a reason to shove him left midfield?
Yeah, but
about determination.
Interesting point, though. You're saying that it's all about goals.
No.
Both
I'm not saying that.
Arsenal's double and Arsenal's Invincibles score more goals than the Treble score.
Scoring more than Scholes. You was about the goals. It's you who's on the goals. You said Vieira's much more than Scholes.
I just said Vieira's. Yeah, he did, and he got more assists in the same period that Scholes did. In the period that he played.
Who was rated higher on FIFA?
Vieira. Vieira was on the cover.
Because you were training him every single day, whipping him.
Scholes is also on the cover. Scholes was on the cover before. He was on 2001 on his own in an England shirt.
Vieira is also a bit of a journeyman as well, isn't he? He's been around a bit.
No, that can't. Yeah, but we're talking about his Arsenal career.
Well, about his French career.
I'm only interested in stripping every positive thing about him. But,
okay.
Like that's where I'm at.
Character. You're going to get sued by Vieira.
I mean, everything I'm saying is accurate. I'm not, saying anything that's inaccurate.
Can we go away from Vieira and go back to the left?
Yes, let's get him out of the team. Yeah, let's do that.
So left mid, Jack. I'm assuming you're going for.
Oh, I ain't going for Giggs. Fuck that. I'm going for Overmars. I think in the period of time he played football, seeing as he was only with Arsenal for like 2 seasons, and he was just pure quality. He was outrageous. If he stayed with us for a lot longer, he probably would be.
Did you say Overmars?
Yeah, Overmars was absolutely phenomenal in the 98 double season.
Overmars was incredible for Arsenal. Like, literally unplayable.
He was good, but like you said, it was for 2 years.
Yeah.
Like, that's not...
That means Giggs scored more goals than him.
Yeah, he probably does. Not goals per game, though. But you're asking me who I think is a better player, and I'm saying that you picked Yap Stam, who played for United for 2 seasons. Okay, if you're going to pick Yap Stam, who played for United for 2 seasons, I'm going to pick Overmars, who played for Arsenal for 2 seasons. He was unplayable for that season.
It was unbelievable. That 98 was it United he scored against as well, wasn't it? When the two
every single winger scored against United. Like Will Tord sticks out for me. He always did it.
Yeah, Will Tord was quality. He was more of a striker though, but yeah, Overmars.
Youngberg was quality as well. To be fair,
unbelievable player. But yeah, Overmars would be very close to me as well. But I personally would go for the Perez. So like I said, this might even be the most different opinions because I think Perez was big game player. He got many goals, many
For
assists.
me, Perez would be the only person that would potentially push Giggs off that position.
Probably in
Close second, Perez.
I would have liked to have watched a highlight reel of Overmars before. I'm actually going to do that afterwards. I'm quite interested in that.
Like,
Like,
honestly,
he
Overmars
is unlucky.
rapid.
Like, he obviously got sold to Barcelona.
Fucking look at him go, Jamie. Look, fucking, he was rapid. They just love pace, don't they? Pace, 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 pace. French pace.
Overmars. But
Oh, Perez! Oh! Let me whack you off.
Oh, we.
Go on, Jack. I can see you want to talk.
It's classic. It's just United fans pick all United players, and then when we go, oh, let's pick an Arsenal player, they're like, ah.
Oh no, I'm quite open.
Ah.
I'm quite open to having Tony Adams, Vieira, potentially Overmars. Not fucking Seaman, not Dixon.
I didn't
Yeah,
pick Seaman or Dixon. I picked 2 United players.
Correct, yeah. Not fucking Lauren either. He can Fox Oscar.
Lauren does have a golden Premier League, though.
He does what? Have what?
A
golden Premier League.
What's that?
It's worth more than a normal one. It's worth more than
that?
4. It counts as 5.
Yeah.
I'm lost. What's the Golden Premier League?
The Invincibles
when we were
trophy is
Invincible.
golden.
It's golden. We got a special Premier League trophy made for us.
You got a special one.
I thought when something was like special, it was like platinum.
No, only golden.
That must be like a treble winning thing.
Because if you got a platinum one, look just like a silver one.
Right, we're terrible people. Top 2 now. Then we'll go to the 2 strikers, and I think there can only be 2 possible answers on this. But
how did we move away on Overmars being left midfield? By the way, like that's a swift transition there.
Well, because Jamie dismissed it out of hand and didn't give a fuck because he's picking.
Right, I'm in the middle here. I'm quite happy to shove Overmars in because I quite like the passion coming from Jack about Overmars.
I loved Overmars. He was an absolute quality player.
You didn't even pick Overmars. You picked Perez.
Yeah, I know. I did pick Perez, and I would pick Perez.
You want to pick
I
Perez?
would also pick Overmars over Giggs.
The lowest of the low.
Yeah, Giggs would be the lowest of the low.
Why did you bring on him? Only because he shagged his brother's wife.
Yeah, that's why as well. Can't have that in the team.
I mean, that's props, I think.
Yeah.
I'm a good manager. What can I say? So we're going to go for the strikers now then. And like I said, I think there can only be 2 possible answers on this, but I'm assuming the Man U fans might disagree.
I'm having 2 United players.
Oh, well, then you've definitely screwed up early doors.
United player.
I'm going to go to Chris just to hear his jokes.
Henri, straight away.
Thank you.
No question.
Did
Jack, did you hear that?
Thanks, mate.
Arsenal player, buddy. And he's really quick. He can run from one end of the pitch to the other. He's so good. He's French quick.
You said you picked 2 Arsenal players. I'm guessing the other one's an Arsenal player, yeah?
No, that was Cole at left back.
Oh shit, I forgot about Cole.
That's all right. And the other player would be. I would either pick Cantona or Van Nistelrooy. I think if you got Henri, Van Nistelrooy wouldn't compliment him. I think Cantona would. And plus, Cantona's French. So I'm sure you both will agree with that.
Are you going to say that Cantona would be like the Bergkamp to Henri?
No, I'm saying Henri would be whoever Cantona would want to play with. It's that way around. Cantona's in charge, mate.
Cantona's in charge, yeah.
Or he'd just kick you, wouldn't he?
Yeah, that's true. Just run into the stands. Jack, go on then. Tell him what's what.
I have to disagree with Chris. I think it is a Frenchman and a Dutchman up top. So I would go with Henri and Bergkamp.
I thought you were going to say REP.
Henri and Overmars up top.
He didn't get on the wing. He's going up top.
No, it's Henri and Bergkamp, and that's the bottom line.
Bergkamp on penalties, yeah?
No, Bergkamp just on whatever the fuck Bergkamp wants to do.
See, this basically comes down to, I think, would you rather have Bergkamp or Cantona supplying Henri? And surely you'd rather have Bergkamp.
Or whoever, really. I mean, Bergkamp and Henri would work, wouldn't it?
Wouldn't have Bergkamp
Yeah, it did.
because he was
It did it? Did it win you the fucking Champions League, mate?
No, but it won us the double. And
So it didn't work.
Another double and the Invincible. Jamie, what about you? Who do you have?
So much longevity.
Dwight York and
in
Andy
success.
Cole straight up there.
Nah. If it was the partnerships, it would have been Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and Teddy Sheringham. But because obviously champions off the bench, substitute legends right there. You'd have to put Henri straight in there. He probably was, if not the best striker that's played in the Premier League, out and out. His stats talks for himself. He was just disgusting.
What was his assists like?
He holds the assist
got the most
for a
assists.
single season.
Oh my god!
He told you, but you don't get a wording. He's like, oh, I tell you. I think he's got 150 goals and about 100 odd assists, something silly like that, and he only played like 203
games.
something like might be wrong. I think he was involved in more goals per game. I think that's what it worked out. I think if he put his goals and assists together,
he was class when he could be in a modern team and he could be in the postmodern era or pre-modern era.
Very good player. My second choice. See, I wouldn't go for Cantona because it would have been just as he.
I don't know whether he's going to be serious or not.
I wouldn't go for Cantona because it would have been at the end of his career. I wouldn't go for him, and I wouldn't have went for Bergkamp just because he's scared of flying. And if you wanted a striker for a big game, he's not getting on the flight because he's a big girl. So I'll probably go for Andy Cole.
Wow.
Third top goal
For the
scorer in Premier League
record,
history.
for the record, I did actually write Andy Cole next to Henri, and I got pissed off halfway through and changed my mind and decided to put Bergkamp in there. So
I like Bergkamp. I thought he was a great player, and obviously Cantona was class.
I like Andy Cole. Andy Cole's a great player.
Cole was brilliant. But I'll put Andy Cole in there with Henri for me personally.
Fair play.
No Canu or Wiltord?
I mean, I'd have Solskjaer and Sheringham on the bench.
Canu on the bench, definitely.
Did you say Canu? Did you say Canu?
Canu's a legend.
All I remember
Canu's
about
a legend. I love
hat-trick
Canu.
at Chelsea when he from round the corner flag, stepped past Ed De Hoy, and then somehow got it in from some mad angle.
Didn't he score that real scumbag Arsenal goal against?
Yeah, he didn't understand what an offside was. Yeah, you can't have a go at him. He doesn't speak English.
That was also Mark Overmars.
Yeah, but didn't understand what an offside was. That doesn't sound like it was a language breakdown.
No, they had a foul, didn't they? And he scored it when he should have kicked it back to the opposition.
Oh yeah, that
And
was it. He
then
didn't,
Wenger said the goal didn't count, and they replayed the game.
he didn't understand throwing it back to the or kicking it back to the other team.
There's a reason why he was called Nwanku Kanu, because he was wank.
And
He was
Harsh on him. He was a good player. He won the FA Cup with Portsmouth as well, didn't he?
yeah, had to go to a big club.
Well, that's enough joking from you. You're out.
Oh, you staying in this room when they've two gone? Like that'd be the highlight of my evening.
Yeah, I think so. Just before we do go, just to let everyone know, it is currently 3-0 Man City.
You scored the other two.
It's 3-0
Oh,
Man
that's
City.
things that you love to see. No one likes Liverpool, and everyone can agree in it that Liverpool can get in the bin.
I loathe and hate Arsenal more than Liverpool as a United fan.
I don't actually. Do you know what? Can I ask you this, Chris? Because I'm another United fan who's exactly the same. Why exactly do you hate Arsenal so much as a United fan?
Because I grew up with that rivalry, pure and simple. Liverpool were even around, poking around the Premier League like that. It was always Vieira versus Keane. It was always Arsenal versus United. And I detest Arsenal fans as well.
I've never
Probably
really
knowing me doesn't help.
No, it's not about you as a person. Maybe you, Keaton.
I hate. Yeah.
It's more like they all have got the same, or at least during the Wenger years, I feel like everyone's got the same mindset that, like for me, I'd rather win every game. But Arsenal fans would quite happily lose if they were playing the right football, which I sort of agree with as well. I'm sort of contradicting myself here, but like there's a strong elitist opinion if you're an Arsenal fan, and that you're automatically better than everyone else. Like, including now, like, I've got a set of friends that are Arsenal fans, and they all still think the sun shines out of Arsenal players' backsides. Like, no matter what, like they could lose. They big them up, they still lose. And they want them still to play the same way, and it just doesn't change. And they all over expect, and their expectations are completely out there. I just can't stand them.
I feel like some of the Arsenal fans you have met are probably dicks then, because I'm a very, very blunt and honest Arsenal fan. But I have to admit, like, everything you say literally reminds me of a United fan. Like, to the point where United fans will share YouTube pages, like, of them guarantee player coming in, like Jadon Sancho, welcome to United.
That's definitely not me. That's definitely not me.
But that's what United fans would do. They'd spend 200 million in the summer and be like, "This is our year," and finish sixth.
Hang on. Liverpool's slogan was "This year's our year," right?
Oh yeah, but Liverpool fans are dicks. Everyone knows that. Like that's an undisputed fact.
That's not up for debate on this one.
Do you know what? I did not agree with that until they won the league. Honestly, it was like, "What's the problem? What's the problem?" And then I was like, "Oh, right. Now I get it."
It's like when people were like, "Who'd you rather win the league, City or Liverpool?" It's like, City. I don't know any City fans.
Yeah. I'll say City. I hate City, but I'd rather City.
I'm yet to find a City fan to come on this show because I don't know any. Genuinely.
I know one.
Is he willing to come on the show and talk about City?
I will ask him again soon. I spoke to him the day, but he was busy on the day, so I will ask him again.
Yeah,
I know a few City fans.
Yeah, you just need to go back to like Chelsea fans from like the mid noughties, and they usually see.
They're a rare species to find now, City fans. They are very rare. They always have been, but I don't know why. They seem to have got good, and they still haven't got a following, which is kind of odd. They can't fill their stadium.
Bought it and not earned it.
True.
That's harsh.
No, it's harsh, but it's true, I think.
I think if you generally go into like the middle of Manchester, I think you probably find quite a few City fans who have been there since they were utter dog shite and seen their team be bought.
Yeah, of course. You're going to find that anywhere, though, aren't you? But I think the reason why they don't have a big following now is because they've literally bought their success in the last 15 years.
Well, they've got a strong... I'd say like they've got... Or at least... They're very well packed, aren't they? They're very well grouped, if that makes sense. They're all quite strong together, whereas United has a divide amongst its fans. You know, it's got its tourists, and you've got, you know, the people that live in Salford and all that sort of stuff, and you know, within Manchester themselves. I think City fans have a strong nucleus of fans.
So I think arguments like you're saying about
mercenaries, aren't they?
You're saying like City's bought like the fans. I mean, Chelsea fans. You know, Chelsea bought its fans. How many fans were honestly like, I'm a massive Chelsea fan?
They're all City fans.
Arguably, I'd say like Liverpool. If you look at like how much money Liverpool spent in this decade, where they weren't close to winning the league, and all of a sudden they've like crept up. Like I saw a Liverpool fan post something like, "Oh yeah, money. You know, the amount of money they spent in a league-winning seasons, like 8.6 million. It's like, do you want to ignore the 200 million you spent last season and didn't win it?"
I mean, it's weird, isn't it? Because we've got going way off piste here, aren't we? But
no, so we finished our 11. So crack on.
Like Liverpool, like this. I'm not sure if this is right, but I think the money that they spent on Salah on their title-winning side, comparable to what City, United, Chelsea, maybe even Arsenal, maybe not Arsenal, have paid for their biggest superstars. Like obviously Arsenal have always been shrewd businessmen and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, it doesn't feel like Liverpool spent a great amount on their current side, other than the Alisson and Van Dijk.
There's an interesting thing. If you seen what what's his face, Gary Neville said. He said if you look at Liverpool, they've bought a lot of 30 million players and turned them into 100 million plus players. And you've got the likes of United, City, Chelsea, who've bought a lot of 100 million plus players, and they've turned them into 30 million players. And that actually is true. The amount of players that City have turned, well, you've got Mane, you've got Salah, both of them have been turned from 30 million into 100 plus.
I can't believe United made a bid of 17 million for Mane. Do you remember that? Like when he was playing for Southampton, like before Liverpool went in for him, Van Gaal offered 17 million for him. I was like, what? Like, and like to think we could have had him. Like,
Try into your pillow.
Pains you.
No, he's done well.
We
Like,
could
no
probably have a
doubt.
discussion about that separately, to be fair, about how clubs have done in the last 10 years, recruitment-wise and fan-wise.
I'm not free that evening.
Pardon?
I'm not free that evening.
Oh, no, of course not. Thanks.
I don't want to talk about that. Because I've
You're
just been
barely free tonight when you had to put electricity on.
Oh, it's all done now, mate.
I'm glad, so I can see your pretty face.
Oh, thank you.
Well, thanks for coming on tonight, guys. So thanks, Chris.
No worries.
Thanks, Jamie.
No worries, mate.
And thanks, Jack. Oh, thanks.
Cheers,
Bye.